Hey y'all, welcome back. Contessa here with another daily dose of nonsense on the web. And if you're asking yourself, what is that foul smelling odor? Well, sorry, once again, we are going to be going over some very fishy situations that took place on July 18th, 2022. I have to give a huge shout out to all of the pages that have been doing videos on me and who I supposedly am associated with because you guys are driving some traffic over here. And I really appreciate that because it's allowing us to get new eyes on the facts in this case. And those new eyes have a lot of questions. So they've been asking them and they've been asking about certain clips or certain situations that they can remember, but it's not as it seems. So I am trying to go back with their questions and provide proof of what they thought happened. But sometimes, well, actually, oftentimes, it's not as they once thought it was. And again, sometimes it takes me a little while to be able to get the clips out or get them out right so you can kind of understand the bigger picture. I am trying to get through as much as I possibly can. You guys know that well, those of you that have been around know that I run this show completely myself. Everything on YouTube is all done by me. Everything on Facebook is all done by me. Yes, I have wonderful people in the background telling me other things that are going on or keeping me up to date, sending me screenshots, things like that, which has been a huge help. But I don't have admins on Facebook or mods or anything like that. It's just me. I finally was able to figure out how to add mods on YouTube. Yay, me! And to be honest, I really don't even need mods on YouTube, except if I have to step away and we're doing like one of the premiere things and something breaks off while I'm not there, then at least somebody has a wrench and can possibly handle the situation. I am extremely pro open conversation though, so blocking really isn't my style, unless they're just ignorant. But let's get into this.
Is wonderful. I've gotten a lot of texts from her throughout the night.
She's speaking about Wynette Jackson in this clip.
And what we're going to do is call. She told me to call her this morning. I'm not expecting that she's going to blow us off like yesterday.
I dropped that clip on Facebook earlier today.
And if she does blow us off, which I don't think she will, okay.
The facial expressions kill me in this one.
So, Miss Wynette is. Oh, there.
Don't get excited. It's just the jackass.
The update is the McCrae family are safe and sound. And thank you all for the very generous donations.
First off, McCrae family isn't who she's talking about. She's referring to Letitia Bias and her husband, Andre, the stepdad. That's who she's referring to. The McCraes are Marvon and Dre. That's who the McCraes are. Get it straight, Molly, and put some respect on Marvon's name. For once, she'll mention more about the money they raised last night soon.
I had 115. I'm just being very apparent with everything.
Transparent.
Apparent. Did I say apparent when I meant transparent?
You said apparent.
Okay.
Boom, boom. Let's be honest. You never know what you're talking about.
So look at this. So I sent this amount of money. I had 115 that was already sitting there for the past couple of days. And I put it together and it came to a total of $385. So they were able to find a place to stay very early this morning. Do I know exactly where they are? No.
Okay, just put things into context here right quick. This was July 18th. By the 15th of July, we know she had over $14,000. So why exactly were they raising funds on the 17th and into the 18th for lodging and accommodations and travel still and attorney's fees? $14,000 days ago, and they're still collecting funds.
Do I know what their plans are for today? No. I'm assuming, hopefully, that they see their son.
Well, I mean, that is the purpose of the trip, correct?
Their brother. Brother. So
they've stated that Marvon's youngest sibling made the trip.
We didn't get to talk to Wynette because of this. The timing was just really off yesterday.
Just dropped a short with that clip in it.
Let's see. She said call in the morning. So I did leave her a message, and I felt like 9:42:10 is still morning and not too invasive. Because if you tell me tomorrow morning, I'll be like, all right, I'll call you at 7:05.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to call her right now. All right.
The person you are calling cannot accept calls at this time. We're sorry for any inconvenience this may cause.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Nah.
Who
Hi,
called?
Wynette. We just called and it said that you're not accepting calls right now.
They may have it on Do Not Disturb or something. I don't know.
Do you have your phone on Do Not Disturb? We will be sitting here on my channel, MollyGoLightly.
Her face right here.
Okay. Ooh. You think?
Whoops. Wynette, you're in trouble. You didn't answer again.
No. We're not calling the McCrays. We're calling
Is calling the Jacksons. The Jacksons.
the father and the stepmother.
Most of you already know she was trying to call Wynette Jackson. She had been attempting to get a hold of Wynette, and Wynette wasn't picking up the phone. She had tried previously, and Wynette didn't answer. People in her comments were like, did she block you? All this stuff. They had not spoken to the Jacksons at this point in time on the 18th of July. Yes, they do come on later on in the evening. This video doesn't cover when Wynette first comes on and talks to Molly, but I do have clips of that too that I can provide later on. But on July 18th, we know that Letitia and her husband, Andre, had traveled to Arizona from Georgia. We know that the Jacksons had already been to Arizona and seen Marvon. This is just their first time in real interaction with MollyGoLightly. Now, at the same time this was going on, I need to mention that Letitia and Wynette both were speaking with Katie of Without a Crystal Ball. And we know that they had been speaking to admins of the Facebook groups, but most of that, 99.9% of that was Letitia. Wynette has talked to people very briefly, and most of that has only been done on streams when she is present in the YouTube streams. And yes, if you're asking or if you pick up a certain tone, I do have more of a soft spot for Wynette and Marvon Sr. There's reasons for that, which I'm not going to go into now, but Marvon Sr. made his son a priority. That made a huge impact on me from the start. It wasn't easy for him to make that arrangements even or do all of what he had to do to make that possible, and he still did it. He still made his son a priority. He didn't come on social media until this, almost a month after he had been to see his son already. There's a lot I don't understand of why they've continued to allow and continue to participate in the behaviors that have continued on social media. But
I want to say thank you. Thank you, everyone, to everyone that donated last night to helping with the Airbnb. Miss Letitia ended up after I ended the live last night. She told me, she said, we are 1 hour and a half away from Tucson. And I said, wow. So yeah, mama was trucking.
So this is, again, July 18th that she's stating this. First question is, did you hear she mentioned an Airbnb? They fundraised the night before the stream for funds for an Airbnb. Again, why was funds still needed and being collected for lodging when they already had a huge chunk of money. And at this point in time, they're claiming that only the retainer had been paid for the attorney.
They made it. So they did find a nice hotel that has, like, you know, what they need, and she's staying there for 5 days so far.
Well, now it switched from an Airbnb to a hotel, but that's here nor there. One thing I do have to say though, does anybody remember when Letitia came live with Molly when she was in Arizona and supposedly they were streaming her on the TV and you could hear it in the background, but they were watching her? Does anybody remember that? That must have been a really swanky hotel because all the hotels that I've stayed at don't have the streaming service available. You would have to like take your own Fire Stick or a Roku or something. So I don't know, just something that stood out to me that always I've gone, that's really odd because I've never been able to stream anybody in a hotel. I lean to that was probably just a little bit more misinformation or fluff in the story because otherwise it doesn't really make sense. But
that's what I know. But one of the interesting things that I want to talk about with Miss Wynette. Now, I do have the father's number. His name is Mr. Jackson. I'm going to call Mr. Jackson right now. Sorry, Mr. Jackson. Oh. Okay, so that's all right, so that's the same number that I've been calling. Okay. 4. Okay.
The person you are calling cannot accept calls at this time. We're sorry for any inconvenience this may cause.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. Announcement for welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Are they answering that text?
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
she can't possibly be getting upset with the fact that they didn't pick up the phone, considering their son is in a coma and they have a ton more going on than content creators on YouTube.
Okay. Let me see. It's still going through as green. It's still going through. Unblocked. That's what it says. You think their phones are disconnected? No, I think I'm going to send another message and say, hello, Wynette.
Who is the one calling and texting over and over?
Justin and I are live. It is 10 a.m. Just wondering what's going on. I called both numbers.
Just slightly shitting my pants because I need the content. I need a story.
Okay. All right. So this is what she said. Okay. I'm at this point, I don't know what's going on, but this is what she says. It goes back. So this was at 2:30 in the morning last night. Miss Molly, this is Wynette Jackson.
Listen to how she reads this text message.
I just got in from my family reunion. My husband and I would love to talk to you. Please call. My apologies for the late text. I'm so glad that Letitia is on her way to Arizona. It's a drive. We did it, and it was worth every penny to get to Marvin.
It's right around 2,000 miles from Georgia to Arizona.
Jr. Love you and Justin. It's not about the money at all. However, I didn't know we're going to drive. Hold on. Can somebody text
The Jacksons' Cash App was scrolling as her banner.
Robin Millette and tell her that I'm live? Thank you, because she keeps bumping in with like personal questions. Oh, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like this text. Letitia is on her. I'm so glad that Letitia's on her way to Arizona. It's worth the drive. I did it, and it was worth every penny to get to Marvin Jr. I love you and Justin. It's not about the money at all. However, I didn't know we were going to drive, and I used everything I had for our son. He was worth
This raised so many questions for me that I still have.
every bit just to get justice for him. Who was the clown that was talking against you? I didn't know you called last night. Again, I thank you
Lynette asked Molly, who's the clown you were talking about?
so much for the work and dedication that you have for Marvin Jr. I will leave my Cash App with you, but it's not about the money. I used everything I had in my checking and 2 savings. God bless you. I have photos with Marvin Jr. For HIPAA restrictions, I don't want that evil wife to sue me because of the HIPAA policy.
Keep paying attention right there. You heard Wynette says she doesn't want to share those photos because of HIPAA. Just wait, catalog that because upcoming you'll hear more. Secondly, it's not because of HIPAA.
1970. Love you. Now I had asked her for her PayPal, so that's mine. Am I sure it's
Molly asked Wynette for the Cash App.
her? I would assume so. And I wrote back and I said, oh, yeah, that's the crystal ball. She's a sick bitch.
Dropping these. These are from July 19th between Wynette and Crystal Ball, just to show that Wynette and her were still okay.
And I said, Letitia made it minutes ago. She is with her husband and son. They are safe. And then she says, yeah, I know. I stopped talking to Crystal Ball. She talked to my husband and I.
Well, that's just not true if that's what it says.
And I said, she's not going to sue you, meaning Dre. I said, she's not going to sue you. She's got enough issues. There is an active investigation. She is hiding from me since I'm the only one who intimidates her.
This, my friends, is delusions of grandeur.
I'm coming hard for her. The way she treats her family is a sin. She's going to have to learn the hard way. We have everything on her. I have a team of investigators. I'm just a face. I'll.
Hold on. What did you just say, Molly? You have a team of investigators? If you have a team of investigators, you need to fire every single one of them. If you are actually paying a team of investigators, because they suck.
Go out there and. Vaughn has an army. Tomorrow the press may be picking it up. I have many connections with etc. I show up at CPS and protest, sometimes houses. I engage in pressure campaigns. I'm successful at it. I'm a victim's advocate. I search for missing children. I use my YouTube platform. I am the loudest. I believe Letitia will see him in the AM because I'm praying hard. Hold me back from this evil witch. She met her match.
And to think she really believes this stuff about herself.
So then she responds, no, this is Marvan's stepmother. I haven't slept. I'm suffering with insomnia. I'm glad Tisha made it. Does she know where he is? I'm still looking at your broadcast from yesterday.
Again, July 18th, Marvan had already been moved from the VA.
Please call in the morning. Marvan blinked twice when I asked him if someone did this to him. And then she's
okay, right here. I don't know if Molly is going off script or if Wynette actually wrote that in a text message. I have very strong feelings if it is something Wynette said, but I don't know.
Says Dre will go to prison.
And yet, still no charges have been filed on anyone.
Said, no, she doesn't. After you left, evil ass moved him.
Molly is telling Wynette that Dre had Marvan moved. Wynette was the one who told Letitia, and that's how everybody found out, that he was moved. They knew that. We have seen that text.
And then I wrote back, oh my God, he blinked. And she responds, yes, ma'am, twice. I rubbed his head and my husband and I talked to him.
Don't worry, she doesn't show shit.
Please call me in the morning. Love you and Justin. And I said, thank you, ma'am, we will. She then goes into this.
They got to be watching something else than we are. They've got to be.
I ran out of the room when he blinked twice, and my husband said, what's wrong?
I go right back into sensationalizing every bit of it.
Marvan Jr. was talking to me. He called me Ma. He was saying, don't let this go in vain. I'm very spiritual. I felt him. I rubbed his head, and he was there. Miss Molly, I'm sick to my stomach how they treated us when we were asking so many questions. The social worker, blank, blank, told us she would help us. However, she went ghost on us. She did get us in Fisher House on the Veterans Hospital for 2 weeks. I don't know what that means.
The Fisher House is basic lodging accommodations for patients of the VA and or their loved ones. I am confused about the accommodations for 2 weeks, though, because they weren't there that long. We know that.
I know she moved him, is what she said. She goes on and says, I know she moved him the day that we
Exactly. That's how Letitia found out he was moved.
left. I have an informant there and gave my husband and I her number. Says she doesn't know where he is. I just texted her. She said she had a lawyer that was willing to help. Please
She had an informant at the VA, not at the
call in
current.
the morning. And then she goes on and says, yes, he blinked twice. She spit it
How many times does she say that in that video, I wonder?
on him, is what she says. She was probably putting that poisoning on him. She was drinking that water in the video.
And all of this is so much fluff.
This too shall pass, she says. Keep doing what you and Justin are doing. Be blessed. Good night. And I was asleep at that point, and she said, she will be on court TV. I'm fasting and praying every day for Marvan Jr. My husband asked as soon as we saw the mark around his neck, what was that? It looks like someone was pulling him from the back between their legs.
And this is why they asked Marvan Sr. those questions.
She says, my husband asked as soon as we saw the mark around his neck, what was that? It looks like someone was pulling him from the back between their legs. I'm just keeping it real. Good night.
When Marvon Sr. and Wynette do finally come on with Molly, you will see exactly where their line of questioning is headed. And it's all to support that theory. Now, you can see that the family is kind of providing details or stories, per se, that would lead to these creators' theories that they've been pushing to their audiences. That's weird to me that the family is kind of providing details that support those theories without any evidence.
Can anyone tell me what the issue is with Crystal Ball? Really what it is childish, greedy, manipulative, insecure, catty, douche, messed up. I mean, I can go on and on. She is, she's basically trying to take ownership. She doesn't want me and Justin working on this at all. She wants everyone to watch her. So she's trying to push us out.
Well, she just described herself to a T.
There was a very interesting video that was put out, and I very much enjoyed it. It was called, it's the woman that put it out is Nini Marie.
I like that.
You like that one? It's called The Hypocrisy of Katie Joy's coverage of Dre and Von Rickray.
Hold on, July 18th, and they're promoting channels that are going after Katie for reporting on this story. But Katie was still in contact with the family.
It's a 20-minute video, and she clipped everything that Katie is just doing that's wrong.
Whelp, pot, meat kettle.
So I'm going to take this banner down for now because I don't know what to think at this point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to think at this point with.
And yes, friends, she just took the Jackson's Cash App that was scrolling in her banner down because Wynette, for the second time, did not answer her calls while she was live. So yeah, I'm sure there was a little embarrassment in that. But if this was all about the family, everything was on the up and up, she says she doesn't know what to think. She just didn't answer the phone. That's it.
The mom, the stepmother, and the
I think
father.
she's just sleeping. I think they just got the phone off.
Okay, so they put the phone off. All right.
You can tell she ain't buying Justin's BS at all.
With her, this Katie chick, it's not normal.
We have text messages proving that Katie was still in communication with Wynette and Letitia. She didn't request her refund until the 21st of July. So Katie was still actively talking to the family. Molly was upset about that. Molly and Katie had issues, and Molly's followers were pissed that she had initially kind of teamed up with Katie because they don't like Katie. Katie's got a whole fan club of people that don't like her. They're a little bit wild and out of control. And granted, maybe they have reasons. I don't know. I haven't had time to look into it. All I can say is, in this case, they are absolutely wrong. Katie did nothing different than anybody else that reported on this case. They reported with the facts that they had available at the time. Yet, there's only been a few people that have gone back and corrected that those are actually not facts. It was very much inflamed by a certain narrative caused by one set of people. Well, a pretty big set of people, but there was one set that was out to get Dre. This wasn't about Marvon. This isn't about her involvement in the story. They have tried to make it about that, but it's not. Look at this video from July 18th. This is the first time Molly is even trying to contact the Jacksons. She doesn't have their names right. The information is just not correct. And we know that. So now going back and putting the pieces of the puzzle actually together, there's a lot of things that don't add up. And a lot of these details have came directly from the family. That's a problem because it comes back to the family. Why would the family, if they're so concerned about Marvon, participate in any of this? I don't understand. But again, this was just another one that people were asking me questions about. So I figured we'd shoot this out really fast because I hope it puts a little bit more into perspective about what actually happened when Molly was trying to connect with the Jacksons at the first. And like I said, later on the 18th, they do come on the stream. Marvon Sr. and Wynette do show up and everything's fine. They start fundraising for them again. In fact, I even think people were sending money for a phone bill, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, those are out there too. Contessa, over and out.